The next witness I'd like to call is Jeanette Cooper with Partners for Ethical Care. And then following Jeanette will be Thomas Wheeler Horvath, I believe, citizen of Ohio. Welcome to committee, Ms. Cooper.
Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon, senators of the committee. I'm actually from Ohio originally. I was born and raised here in Ohio, in southeastern Ohio. You might hear my accent sneak out. So my name is Jeanette Cooper, and I'm here to state my support of HB 68 on behalf of Partners for Ethical Care. We're a secular, nonpartisan, all-volunteer nonprofit organization made completely of women, mothers. So parents are asked, would you rather have a living son or a dead daughter? It's the greatest fear of every parent to outlive her own child. It makes sense for a parent to choose physically harmful interventions when they are faced with that choice from unethical and misinformed healthcare providers. It makes sense for a mother to choose a sterile, de-sexed child over a dead child. It makes sense for a parent to consent to the removal of healthy breasts rather than the removal of her daughter's body from the morgue. It makes sense when a parent is surrounded by people repeating the mantra of life-saving care. The fear is immense and nearly unbearable. But this is the suicide myth, which assumes only two options, transition or suicide. It's a false dichotomy. There are always more than two options. But stopping normal puberty, administering wrong sex hormones, and removing healthy body parts should never be an option. No doctor should be removing a healthy finger, healthy leg, or healthy breasts from anyone. Gender dysphoria is a psychological problem that deserves ethical psychological care. It's impossible to be born in the wrong body. The mind is part of the body. It isn't separate from it. I help run an online group of thousands of parents who do not affirm their children's transgender identity. I probably have the most experience of anybody in this room with children, parents who have claimed a transgender identity. I get 10 to 15 people applying to my group every single day. Rather, in our group, we support our children's social, emotional, and physical needs as human beings in their natural male or female bodies. We let our kids wear what they want and cut their hair however they please. We accept and love our children as lesbian or gay. We are liberal like me and conservative. We are atheist like me and religious. We are former Democrats like me and former Republicans. We are diverse. I've only voted Democrat in this state of Ohio. I voted Republican once and I survived. I am not aware of any children of parents in our group who have committed suicide because they were not affirmed. On the contrary, we observe hundreds of children who recover from gender dysphoria and thrive once they don't need the crutch of a transgender identity, after their underlying mental and physical health issues are addressed with legitimate and ethical care. We know how to resolve gender dysphoria without harming healthy bodies, and it works, provided children are not encouraged to believe this falsehood. In other private online groups, sadly, we've read accounts from parents who affirmed their children's transgender identity, but their children's mental health did not improve. Their physical health deteriorated. Some have committed suicide. We have read many accounts of this, and I have spoken to some of these parents. The promises of transition joy didn't save the lives of these young people. It was snake oil. I had a mother and a father join my group 2 weeks ago who affirmed their child. They gave her puberty blockers, testosterone, and consented to the removal of her breasts, and now she is dead. I am here with observations of personal experiences from thousands of parents who have had trans-identifying children. That we know what prevents suicide, and it's not affirmation. We know how to support children who identify as transgender. It's not affirmation. We have thousands of parents who talk to each other, learn from each other, and support their children. Using someone's chosen pronouns is not going to save their life, just like using someone's birth name is not going to cause their suicide. That's not how suicide works. In order to have a completed suicide, according to Jack Clott, a suicidologist with over 45 years of experience, a person needs to have 4 things. They need to have hopelessness, aloneness, self-hatred, and the inability to cope. As long as they have one of them, they're still alive. Suicide is complex. It's not about names and pronouns. Contrary to the popular myth told and retold, pronouns do not literally save lives. There's no injection, not wrong sex hormones or anything else that can be given to prevent suicide. Suicide prevention is about social and psychological supports, not surgeries. It's about changing your mind, not irreversibly changing your body. Gender medicine is the latest miracle drug sold to desperate parents and young people. I wish it was a miracle cure, but it's not. I feel for the parents and young people who have been emotionally coerced into believing this lie. They are desperate. This lie is not true. No one needs gender medicine, and no one must kill themselves if they don't get it. This is not life-saving care. We want to tell young people and their parents that you can and will survive the psychological and emotional pain that you feel at this moment. Emotional pain will not kill you. You and your children deserve ethical care, and we're deeply sorry that you're not getting it from professionals that you should be able to trust. We trust that this state, Ohio, will vote to protect these children from this multi-billion-dollar unethical gender industry. I appreciate your time and support of this bill, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for your testimony. Are there any questions for this witness? No? Seeing that I do have one, you mentioned in your testimony that we should support these trans individuals, but not with affirmation, but through other methods. I mean, so with your organization, Partners for Ethical Care, what do you find has been helping the most?
Partners for Ethical Care does awareness around this issue generally. I, as an individual, run an online group, and parents, they use a few things in the same way that people who are in addiction discriminate between supporting and enabling an unhealthy coping mechanism. So identifying as somebody other than yourself is a bit of a dissociation and an unhealthy coping mechanism. Similar to addiction, anorexia, the children are doing some of these same things. Trans identification is just another iteration of that. So it's connecting with human beings and healthy social relationships, the opposite of really the things that cause suicide. So giving children a sense of hope for the future, that they have choices, that they'll be able to have children if they wish to, for example. Gender medicine negates a lot of that. It also negates sexual pleasure, which I think is a human right. We've negated that for thousands of children now.
Yeah. Thank you. And then what, if I may ask, what sparked your interest in this particular topic? I mean, you sound very knowledgeable. You've spoken to many examples of people you know, even those who've lost a child recently. But what got you motivated?
I agreed to give up custody of my only daughter. She said that she was a boy. No one can change sex. I used her name and pronouns. That wasn't enough. Today, she wears a bra, she wears makeup, nail polish. She's beautiful. And she still says she's not a girl.
Wow. Thank you.
And I'm still prohibited from seeing or talking to her other than sending her postal mail, because it seems that Cook County, Illinois believes that names and pronouns are a serious endangerment.
Wow. Very powerful. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your courage and willingness to speak up. And I believe through your courage, you will be helping many, many children across the state of Ohio. So thank you.
I appreciate it.